Right. Right. Welcome everyone. This is Andres Restart. We are doing a, podcast. The Pokemon stuff just came out. I'm joined by Amanda from Mandy Lee Plays, Brandon from What About Nintendo. What's up, guys? Thank you for coming on short notice to talk about all this Pokemon news.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Definitely excited to talk about all this stuff because, I'm not even a huge Pokemon fan. My mind was my hype was too much. I don't know why. It was insane.
Yeah, this is.
I got caught up in that hype train.
This is crazy. Amanda, I don't know if we've definitely talked about Pokemon before together, but I guess for the viewers, right? I guess maybe you could. How much are you excited? How excited are you about this?
I'm really excited. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon. I've been playing the games for God knows how long, and yeah, I'm kind of okay. I'm trying to register what I was seeing. But I'm not even. I have to really watch the trailer again.
Yeah.
First reaction was the hype reaction.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in. But let me just say hello to everyone in the chat. How are you guys? How hype are you guys about this? Yes, I know it's not what some of us were expecting, but there's other news that came out. There apparently is. We're gonna get into all of it, but I just want to see who's here. What's up, Josh? Hey, Snowman. Hey, Blackstar Dude. Hey, Shuntaro. Sabbath. Chris. So, we got some stuff to talk about for sure. It is, we got stuff to talk about. So then, I'm not sure where to start.
Right.
I'm not sure where to start. I think for those watching who are new here, we normally have more of an outline, but this is, immediately after the Pokemon news came out, and it's kind of, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Hey Jakar, hey Mars, how you guys doing? So, where do I start? We were getting information that we were gonna get a Pokemon reveal this week, finally, but their signs weren't really pointing towards the Nintendo Direct, which is what made things really, really weird. And then, I was starting to think, hey, we're not gonna get a Direct, and some people are like, oh no, you're crazy, of course there's a Direct. It's like, no, it doesn't seem like it, right? And then what happened? We heard news about this, right? And I thought that maybe we get the news after, but apparently Pokemon was tweeting out every piece of information was coming out, so it was an interactive thing. They weren't streaming it to us, but we could see the tweets coming out every minute. And the first thing that came out that I freaked out about was Pokemon Quest. I was like, oh my god, no, no.
Yeah, that one got me scared.
Yeah.
I was I'm done.
Yeah. But it's a spin-off. That it's a free-to-play digital game. I guess it's cute, We're not going to talk about that too long, but for half a second, I was like, what? This is what we were waiting for?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Especially since they said it's in Kanto. I was like, oh my god, this is what they were talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
See, the way I was doing it, I literally had about 6 different tabs open. I was I just found all the Poke people that were at the event, which is hey, I'm following you and following you and following you and opening you up and opening you up and opening you up. So I actually got a lot of information way before Pokemon Company tweeted it out, and I got a lot more detailed information. So I knew by then that there were 3 different announcements during the show, and that 2 of them were actual core games, and then 1 was the cell phone and Switch one. So I wasn't worried about it. But man, if I had just followed the Pokemon thing, I probably would have been like that too. Oh no, what is this? This is not right.
Yeah. But it's just a spin-off, and they did announce Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, which are also not really. I don't want to call them spin-offs, but they're kind of spin-offs. Cause guys, disclaimer: they confirmed that another Pokemon game is coming out second half of 2019. So next year, they are already working on a Pokemon game that is said to be more along the lines of X and Y and Sun and Moon, right? So for those who don't like the direction of this Pokemon game, rest assured, the main Pokemon game, the ones that we've seen on the 3DS, those are coming. And the fact that they're doing it like this actually excites me more, and for a whole multitude of reasons. But we'll get to that. let's first talk about this trailer. What do you guys think? Like, initial impressions from this trailer?
There was a lot going on. I just got the Pokemon Go vibe, so I was just like, oh man. But then they put it on the Switch. I'm like, what are they doing? I don't really get it so far. I get it's like a hybrid, I guess. I don't know. It was a little too much phone for my taste in a game. Like, I just want to take the phone away, but...
Yeah, I see what you're saying about the phone thing, but from the way I saw it, like, it looked optional, but also integral. Like, it is, their marketing is a big part of it. That is true. Now, if this came out 2 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, let's do this. Because Pokemon Go had just come out, right? Like, was it the Pokemon Go? I was like, oh, I want to use these Pokemon in a real game. And Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee do look kind of like a real game, but the style of it isn't the style of it. I realize it's like it's almost more... The graphics are a lot better than Pokemon Sun and Moon. Like, they are a lot better. I am actually pleasantly... I like the graphics, like, in terms of, I guess, the effects, right? But I also am... The aesthetic of it is a bit more toony, more childish, right? It is appealing
kind of more the Pokemon Go style, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of Hey You Pikachu in like a sort of way, like where you have to like a Tamagotchi style, where you have to raise your Pokemon instead of battling. Like battling is not the main focus. It's more like raising the Pokemon.
Yeah,
the details are kind of all over the place. We did learn that there's officially no battles with wild Pokemon. You only catch them, so you only catch the wild Pokemon, which I thought was... I can't decide if I like that or not, because, well, I mean...
In defense of that, in Pokemon games, usually I just get quick balls, right? And I just... Quick balls, you can pretty much catch every Pokemon with just one throw. The only caveat that I see to that immediately, because the catching thing I'm fine with. Yeah, battling is kind of important, but I don't think it's needed for wild Pokemon. Is that you normally is grinding. Like, you have to level up and train your Pokemon. How do you grind now? Can you fight trainers again?
Is it like Pokemon Go where you have to catch multiple of the same type? Because it could be like that.
Well, I hope not. I don't. I hope not. That would no sirree. I don't want that. No.
Maybe go to like... I mean, they had a lot of different things in the trailer. It was hard to tell what was what. But they did have like actual battles with like trainers and stuff. Maybe there's a place you can go, a special trainer place you go, and you can just battle and level up your Pokemon. Because they did have levels. They had levels and moves and different things. The combat system looked just like normal. Just there's less of it and out in the wild.
And the Pokemon are out in the wild too, so you can see them this time, which is cool. And ride Pokemon are there. Like, it has ride Pokemon, it has wild Pokemon catching. It's they said it is like a remake of Pokemon Yellow, so this is still a Pokemon game.
Well, they said it's not actually. What they said is it's not a remake of Pokemon Yellow.
It's based off of Pokemon Yellow.
It's based off of it. It's like a more of a reimagining or sorts.
Right.
But I think that they didn't confirm it, but I think personally that it is that kind of in the future idea that people were rumoring. I think that's interesting. What that is.
Now, here's the thing. They didn't confirm it, but they did confirm this. At the end of the trailer, they said that there was like a little hint, oh, you're going to get a Pokemon, right? At the very end of the trailer, they confirmed via a tweet that is a new Pokemon. So, this game is going to have Pokemon we haven't seen before. So there are going to be new Pokemon in this game, which implies that even if this is based off the same story, there's going to be new content, not just changed around, like new stuff. Right. So,
also, there's going to be a lowland Pokemon in the game.
That was confirmed?
That was confirmed.
Confirmed. Okay.
Confirmed.
A lowland.
I want Dugtrio. That's a lowland.
Right.
Yeah. Actually,
I don't know if a lowland forms will be in there, but a lowland specific Pokemon will.
Let me see what
I can check.
Twitter says.
See what it says here. This is coming from Cerebi, by the way. So, and he was at the event, so he knows
right.
stuff.
So they may not have tweeted. Right, that makes sense.
So what he says is, Pokemon Let's Go confirmed to have just the original 151 Pokemon and some Alolan Pokemon, plus the new whatever Pokemon or whatever brand new Pokemon that was.
So is it just one new Pokemon then?
That's what it seems to be, but it's kind of up in the air.
If it is just one new Pokemon, I already know what it is.
What?
I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Pikachu. And Raichu. Gorochu!
Gorochu. But isn't that an evolution, not a specific Pokemon? Oh, they did confirm that your specific Pokemon Eevee don't evolve, but wild Pokemon and wild Eevees do evolve.
What? My Eevee's
Which is weird.
Just Eevee? Or did they say that for Pikachu too?
Pikachu. So your specific Pikachu and your specific Eevee. I think I might have accidentally said your specific Pokemon. I meant to say your specific Pikachu, your specific Eevee do not evolve.
Okay,
but
Garachu's not.
Apparently they're not used. It doesn't. I don't know if they're even used for battles or not. Because you can catch other Pikachus and Eevees and they can evolve. So it doesn't. I'm not even sure if these will be used for battle or if they're just for story and stuff.
Interesting, actually. Hold on a second. If you don't use them for battle, that's interesting. It's interesting because why the hell are they even there? Are they just there for story? Like, okay.
It's also true that because you can see other Pokemon following you while Pikachu and Eevee are on you, so obviously they're not the ones in the first. So whatever you have in the first Pokemon slot, that's the one that follows you. But Pikachu and Eevee are always there. So I don't think they're used for battles.
So maybe this Pikachu and Eevee are actually belong to Red and Blue, and you're not Red or Blue. You're someone else.
There was a rumor that that would be the case, and they wouldn't fight because they're not loyal to you. They're loyal to Red and Blue, so they don't fight for you.
What? That doesn't make sense. It's your Pokemon. Don't disobey me.
It seems like it's actually somebody else's Pokemon. You just have it for some reason.
I need to go into Cerebi and look at every piece of data.
Yeah, I'm on Cerebi's Twitter right now. That's going off of rumors and speculation at this point, by the way. That's not completely confirmed, but it seems to be how it is, based off previous rumors that line up really, really well and just my own speculation.
Yeah, so actually I saw Mars, Lazy James bring up a good point that this may, increase Pokemon Go sales. Actually, the way it is, I think it's built to give Pokemon Go that resurgence. I think this is gonna.
I think it's built to get all the people that are on Pokemon Go to get a Switch and play it on there. That's what I think it is. Actually,
I think Pokemon Go needs to
die.
Go away.
Needs to go.
It needs to go away.
Yeah. So I'm on Cerebi. And I'm sure there's gonna be just a ridiculous amount of news to sift through. Yeah, there is. I can't deal with this.
I can't do it live.
No,
I used to go on that website to look at the pictures for early Pokemon.
Yeah.
That weren't in the States yet. Good times.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of information here. Wait, no, this is for. Damn it, man! This is for the stupid spin-off game.
I'm on their Twitter.
I don't care about Pokemon Quest.
But Pokemon Quest, the best.
Oh wait, you're not on Cerebi. You're on the Cerebi's Twitter.
Yes.
Oh, well.
He was live tweeting everything, so I'm on his Twitter.
Oh, it's a little different. But I do. Yep. Regardless of what this is, right? I think if you hate this, right? If you hate this, whatever this is, if you hate it, keep in mind that they're working on another Pokemon game that is more along the lines of previous games, and it's coming out next year, holiday 2019. Well, second half 2019, right? So they didn't even say holiday 2019. They said latter half 2019. So, occasionally Pokemon takes breaks. So if you absolutely hate this, you could just see this as a break year.
I'm seeing. Can I reference the comments just for a second? I'm seeing some people. Shintaro Furukawa, says it seems a little unfair to people who don't play Pokemon Go. And Lazy James says he agrees that it feels like he's lacking since he hasn't played Pokemon Go in a while. I don't think that is actually the case. I went back through the trailer and I like stopgapped like everything to look at every frame. And apparently the Pokemon Go integration is limited to a specific Pokemon park. So you don't, when you transfer Pokemon from game to game, they go to a Pokemon park where you can catch them. So it's not like you need Pokemon Go. It's just if you have Pokemon Go and you've caught different things, you can put them in this Pokemon park and you can catch them. I don't know why you would want to catch. Maybe it is like Pokemon Go, where if you catch a certain amount, that's how you level them up, because there's this whole Poke Park where you can bring them in from Pokemon Go and catch them. So it's weird. But I don't know if you'll really be lacking anything from not playing Pokemon Go, especially if you've played it, because there's, it's only the 151 that work with it. I feel like if you've even played it for a little bit, you shouldn't feel lacking. But even for people who don't play Pokemon Go at all, it seems completely optional.
And the app is free. You can download it, although, and I think it runs better than it used to.
I like that Pokeball though. It's cute.
I think it's really interesting that Pikachu and Eevee go on your head, but you can still have Pokemon follow you around.
Mm-hmm.
So
they seem to be like very story-focused Pokemon.
So maybe they aren't a part of your main party.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Maybe you're like escorting them to their trainer.
Right. That's part of the story.
That could very well be it.
Maybe it is. It's just it's different. It's different. It's a different thing. But I love the fact that there are Pokemon that follow you around, and I love the fact that Pokemon are out in the wild that you can see.
Yes.
Right? There's no dynamic.
Getting used to. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
They're just all there. You're gonna be like, at least you know.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. You bring up a good point. Or an interesting. I don't know if I agree though. I'm trying to think about what you just said. Hold on. Yeah, because they seem to be limited in areas that they can move. Like there's still tall grass. You can see where they are in the tall grass, but they're not just like running off around the tall grass. They're only in the tall grass still, so I don't think that would be too much of an issue, just having Pokemon just literally everywhere.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Like when I think about it, one of the issues that I could see with them having Pokemon now available, like, roaming, is that the RNG, like, of getting random encounters is like, I don't know how they redo it if you just wait and it plops up, or you have to leave the room and come back. Like, how does it work? Because in previous Pokemon games, you just ran out on the grass. Okay, after 5 steps you get one. Oh, after 7 steps you get one. After 6 steps you get one. After 3 steps you get one. Like, will it still function that way? It just, you'll see them plop out of nowhere, right? Or will you have to, like, leave the room or the area and come back for them to respawn? So I guess what's interesting about that, though, is that because we don't actually battle these Pokemon, I feel like that makes this process a little simpler. I guess it could work for this game, but what does it mean for the future of Pokemon? I have a feeling that, this is, like, here's the thing. People have talked about it before, right? But if you look at how all the Pokemon games have come out over the years, the first Pokemon game on the system is kind of, like, barely taking advantage of the system, and then the next Pokemon games are really, take advantage of the system. Look at X and Y compared to Pokemon Sun and Moon. Night and day difference, right? Like, night and day. It's like chibi Pokemon versus, like, oh, wow, this is like a person with actual, like, complete, like, like, proportions, and there was, like, it took away the grid-like structure. It's, like, actually, like, a kind of like a third, it literally was, like, a normal third-person adventure, right? Just with the fixed camera. So, with this game, they are using the HD visuals, but there's no dynamic camera, right? I can see the next game being a big jump, from this one. And and I'm just being graphically. I mean, mechanics-wise as well. Like, I think this game does look more catered to, more of a casual fan. I think if you're a Pokemon fan, I feel like you'd still be able to enjoy this, right? I think it still has the battle mechanics, because we saw that battle on Nugget Bridge where we saw Bulbasaur and a Pikachu, and I saw all the moves. It still looked turn-based, so I don't think the battle mechanics have changed. So, you know, and if you care about the battle mechanics, that seems to be the same from what I saw.
Yeah, it looks almost exact. I think it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, and that way they're not. It doesn't seem like they're simplifying it. They're just having less battles. I guess maybe just to make it quicker, because I find a lot of times when I'm trying to catch Pokemon, it can take a while because I need to like grind down its health slowly and make sure I don't kill it and stuff. So I guess that quickens that.
Oh my gosh. Like when I accidentally kill a Pokemon I'm trying to catch, I would get so pissed.
Yeah, but now you can just catch them. And miss with the Pokeball. And miss by throwing. Just waste all your balls throwing at one Pokemon and never hitting it. Yeah.
It seemed pretty easy to get, but of course, why would they show it being hard? It didn't seem like there was nearly as much, like... Even, like, Pokemon Go seemed harder to get, because they were just kind of, like... It seemed more focused on the timing than the aiming. So that should be... You shouldn't have to worry too much about missing the actual Pokemon itself. Unless you'll find a way. You'll find a way.
I fired up Pokemon Go the other day, and I was trying to catch a Pokemon for a video, and I was just like, damn it, I've wasted like 20 balls. I can't hit this stupid Weedle. Like, it was bad. But this is with a controller, which is a little different with a Joy-Con controller. Actually, I don't know if did you guys notice that the Pokeball little apparatus, they said it functions like a Joy-Con controller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a joystick in and everything.
Yeah, but you can also take it with you, and it measures your steps. It's literally the next version of the Pokewalker. I don't know if you guys ever had a Pokewalker for Soul Silver, Heart Gold.
Never played those games, so no.
Man, did you get to play those games?
Yeah, I know what you mean, the little, like, stepper thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I like the Pokeball. I always wanted a Pokeball to, like, take with me.
Yeah.
Just for the heck of it. Like, on my neck, or, like clip it on my side.
Yeah, now you have a reason to at least have like a Pokeball, right? Like there's like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's my Pokeball. What you got? What do you got in the Pokeball? Oh, wouldn't you like to know? Let me pull out my Switch and show you. Yeah, like I think it's cool, man. Like I think it's a pretty cool thing. And as someone who really loves Soul Silver, Heart Gold with the Pokewalker, like. I think it's cool. It's cool, and apparently, like I said, it's like a Joy-Con, so I guess you can use it to play too.
Yeah. They showed them using it for the game, so you should be able to use it normally because you only need one Joy-Con for the game. It's a single Joy-Con game.
You bring up another interesting point, or there's co-op.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
How does that work?
Unfortunately, it's not online, but there's local multiplayer co-op. I don't know how it works. They didn't show much of it.
How does it work? No idea.
It seems easier to capture Pokemon. Like there's a higher chance of capture if you use two people. I guess you're technically throwing two balls at once. So.
Yeah, Mars. There is two-player co-op. Say that
again.
A
Mega Ball. I don't know.
Wait, say that last part.
I think you take two Pokeballs and they like morph together into a Mega Ball or something.
I did see that.
Weird.
Yeah. I guess it's easy mode. I don't like easy mode. I hate easy mode. Abhor it. I want it so if you play with two people, the universe gets like rifted and there are evil Pokemon sprouting from walls and it becomes harder. It's like, how dare you bring another person into this universe? Must pay the price by having to fight legendaries every waking moment. That's a mode I would be down for, right? Maybe that would be like Pokemon Let's Go beat down Andres version or something. Like that's something I could get behind. But I think this is gonna be fun. I'm interested how the co-op mode works. Do you need another Pokemon game, right? And it just transfers like your file in, or does it store two Pokemon trainers with their own separate parties? I'm really interested to see how that works. And
right, I don't think you need two because they were just using the one Switch. So
yeah,
interesting.
It's interesting to me at least because like this looks like a Pokemon game I'll be able to play with my brother. And my brother's not a little kid, in case you guys are thinking, oh, you want to play with your little baby brother? No, my brother's 2 years younger than me. We're both in our 20s, right? Like, we live on our own. We're adults. But, like, I rarely get to play co-op games with my brother. And I feel, he's never gone into a Pokemon game like I have. Like, he's played them, but I'm the only one that's, like, always like play through them all the way, right? He's not much of a gamer, but like this looks like something that I could like enjoy with somebody, right? Because it does seem more casual, and I would have been upset if they didn't announce a Pokemon game coming out, you know, next year that's mainline. This is still mainline-ish from what I see. It still has the mechanics. It's still an adventure. I imagine there's gonna still be multiplayer battling. Brandon, you've been mentioning there's no online. Do you just mean for co-op, or did they say
it's
there's no?
just for co-op. They said there's no multiplayer online co-op. They didn't say there's no battling trainers online like you always, you know, like just going online and doing the random battles and different things. Like I think you can do that in other games, right?
Yeah.
Whatever online multiplayer was in the other ones is still in this one.
Yeah.
But there's no new online multiplayer co-op.
Yeah. Okay. So is there still like gonna be like competitive battling? That's what I'm curious about. Like, will you still be able to have competitive battles with this? Have we seen?
I mean, the battle mechanics look the same.
Right. So you got to think that they would have that available, right? You got to think maybe. If it doesn't have the competitive battling aspect to it, then I'm like I already said this is a spin-off, right? But then like that's like super spin-off. Like I feel like, you know, like it still plays and feels and looks like a mainline Pokemon game, but you know the focus is more casual. Like, but I'm not upset about it, you know, because the mainline Pokemon game is coming, and they were gonna need to take a break eventually, anyways, right? So. They still give us a Pokemon game that plays and looks and feels like a Pokemon game because it is a Pokemon game. So, you know, I'm fine with it. I'm content with it.
Yeah, they saved their butts by putting that little, to like coming soon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't for that, I think a lot of people would be more upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, I'm more excited about this game than the one they teased, because they said it was going back to being like Sun and Moon, which means random encounters and things I wanted them to get rid of.
Hold on a second. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be exactly like that. I think okay, I don't want to say for sure, but I feel like the ride Pokemon roaming around.
Right, Pokemon are in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
As far as the way they made it sound is like there's the additions. Like they said they wanted to make it like Sun. They specifically said X and Y in Sun and Moon, and it would play like those games. So it might have a better graphical engine. Obviously it does, because they included both X and Y in Sun and Moon, which are completely different graphical engines. But they kind of infer that, you know, it would play the same as those games, and there wouldn't be any big, you know, changes like no random encounters and things. Those are big changes to the you know, the formula in general. I think they're going to forego those. Honestly, this is kind of like I'm a casual Pokemon player.
I'm not sure I agree with you.
Something I would really like.
Well, let me you finish your point first. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, go.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I don't know. This looks like it's really fun to me. I like the fact that Pokemon are in the wild. I like the graphic style enough. I think it looks different enough from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Definitely a big improvement, especially like the backgrounds when you battle. Because in Sun and Moon, it was like literally just super low resolution, flat images, and this is like actually 3D modeled backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot prettier.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think this looks really good. I'm actually really excited for it. It looks like something I'd really enjoy.
Yeah. No, but I was just disagreeing with you on.
Mm-hmm.
I like some of the changes we're seeing in this game. I still think are gonna be changes that they're gonna carry over into the future.
I hope so.
Like I think, you know, having Pokemon roam around, having Pokemon follow you, you know, those are mechanics that I think are some things. Well, okay, I see the roaming around Pokemon something becoming more of a thing for the next Pokemon game of the future, but the Pokemon following behind, it might be something that they won't have in the next game. Because the thing is, like, I remember Soul Silver, they allowed you to have Pokemon follow you around, and then every other Pokemon game after that, they took it out, right? So it's almost like they just had it as, like, a special thing for that game, right? And that could be also, like, a special thing for this game, right? But I mean, I would like to think that they'll keep it, but I guess we'll see. I also think, I feel like the next game has to be a bigger jump. I think it's gonna be a bigger jump. Like when they say go back to X and Y and Sun and Moon, I feel like it's more about the RPG intensive part of it, not necessarily like the movement and Pokemon roaming around. I think those are things that they're gonna push and evolve the series with in the future.
Okay.
And I feel like this game is probably partially like an experiment for that. Like, so they test out those things like roaming Pokemon, you know, and maybe like, and the HD graphics. Like, they are playing around with the Switch with this game. And I think that's, you know, that we're gonna see a really bigger jump, a more hardcore centric Pokemon game next year. But again, I'm with you, Brandon. I like this game. I like what it is. I'm excited to play it. Maybe for slightly different reasons, right? But hey, man, this looks like a fun game. I'm excited.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the Eevee one. Like,
Oh my god, I can't decide.
I can't just know.
I'm gonna go with I'm going Pikachu. Yeah, I'm going Pikachu.
I feel like it's kind of I think the way they're marketing this is girls go for Eevee, guys go for Pikachu.
Right?
The only way to play as a guy seems to be to get the Pikachu version. To play as a girl, you have to get the Eevee version. Or at least that's how they're marketing at the moment.
Is that how the trailers were? That's really interesting. I did not notice that. No, it could be like a little bit of like a Freudian slip on our parts, right? Like we was like, oh no, I want to be the boy, so you know, pick Pikachu. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, the Eevee just calls me.
And it has a really cute like little growl. It's like, hey, like it's weird. Yeah. So, guys in the chat, if you have any like sort of topics you want us to address or talk about or questions, you know, put them out there for us. This is not going to be as long of a podcast. We might be going on for another 15-20 minutes. You know, but yeah. So, Devaluke, you feel like the graphics look outdated? You know, I think it looks a lot prettier than the 3DS, but that's pretty easy to do. And I will say that, like, that Mewtwo scene, right, it's a thumbnail, like, it almost looks like, basically, kind of like a, like, the graphics look very Federation Force Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. Like, that's kind of like the graphics it looks like to me. Those are the vibes I got, which are very simple. Like, they're good for the 3DS, right, but not good for Pokemon Switch.
Right.
Like, I think it's polished. I just think it's a very kiddie style, you know?
Yeah. I was thinking more of like Pokken Tournament kind of graphics.
Next year.
I never expected that. As soon as we heard it was a remake, I was like, oh yeah, no, it's gonna be like a upgraded 3DS. But I think a lot of people they kind of overestimate how good the 3DS looks, because I played it. Even at 1440p, it doesn't look even close to as good as this game. Like, it doesn't touch it. Maybe I'll make a video on it eventually, like, this game versus Sun and Moon, so people can see, like, oh, yeah, it's not just a 1080p version of Sun and Moon, because it's not even close. Like, it looks trash next to this game. The lighting is better. There's 3D models instead of just sprites for backgrounds. The character models look sharper. The textures on them are way higher resolution. Everything looks better. There's more polygons, except for that one scene with Mew. I will agree, that one looked bad. I don't know why. That one looked like way worse than literally the entirety of the rest of the trailer, which would confuse me a lot. I'm like, is that scene not done yet? Did you guys just is that an oversight? I'm confused. But yeah, the game looks way better. Now I do understand, like, yeah, if you're wanting an Unreal Engine 4 Pokemon, which is what I wanted in the beginning. Like,
Hashtag 2019.
Right? A couple months ago, I was like, if this is not Unreal Engine 4 Pokemon, I'm going to be upset. But when I heard it was a remake, I thought it was Gen 8. I thought it was going to be Gen 8. So when I heard it was a remake, I was like, oh, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I will say, like I said in the podcast, and I've said multiple times, like, if they don't have good graphics, like, for the next one, I'm going to be upset. But this one makes more sense to be in this style when it's it's just a remake. It's not something that they're going all out here for. It's more of a casual game. It's not really focused on people who are, super visuals or, super hardcore Pokemon fans. It's more of just trying to get people into the series so that when the mainline big, huge, high budget Pokemon comes out, they're already like, oh, I got a Switch because of the other Pokemon game. I'll get this one too.
Yeah. I just noticed a comment from Sohan Paul. Yeah, how you doing, bro? He's saying it does look like it lacks polygons for some basic structures like the fences in the Bulbasaur versus Venonat battle. You know, there were rumors that this was originally a 3DS game and they transferred it over to Switch. There were those rumors, and when I think about it, you know, this isn't a game that's meant to push the Switch. Like it's not pushing the Switch. It's just that's a fact, right? But it still, in my opinion, looks a lot better than the previous 3DS games. It's a pretty game, but it, you know, goes back to what we've been saying. It's just kind of casual, right?
Yeah, I mean, this game would literally never run. Yeah, and I don't care if you put it at 240p, it would never run on the 3DS. It just wouldn't. Like, you think Sun and Moon runs badly on the 3DS. This game would run at maybe like 2 frames per second. It's that much better. Like, I really think people don't. It's kind of like those things when people look back on like older versions of games when they get remakes and they're like, this looks the same as the old game. Oh, and then they go look at them side by side, or they go back and actually play the old game. They're like, oh, when did this look so bad? You know? Like, you look back and you think about old games you've played, they look way better in your head than they actually look.
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing them on a screen that's this big. Some things you just can't really tell.
Like Ocarina of Time.
Right.
Oh my god, it's so much better on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
How did people play it back then?
I don't know. With the square faces. Oh gosh.
What do you mean? Link just had a very angular like jaw, right? Like that
right.
He was a sexy man. Okay. Like,
I like how they just smooth him out in the remakes.
Yeah. But so let me ask you guys this question: Is this a pass, or is this a yay? I'm totally gonna waste money on this.
I like how the only other option is we're gonna waste money.
Use
yeah,
money.
Waste money.
Yeah, I'm gonna waste money on it.
More money, Nintendo.
Take it.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
That cover is beautiful.
I am concerned about the competitive aspect. You know, Mars brought it up that maybe like this won't have some depth. That I can kind of see that being a possibility. I'm hoping it will, but I could see it lacking in some depth. So we're gonna have to wait and see, right? But like I said, you know, I am starting to look at this as a spin-off. An exciting spin-off, and as far as spin-offs go, this seems like quite a treat. And you know, the main games are coming later on. This is something to tide us over.
Right.
And
yeah, I don't see it as a problem about it fizzling out, but since literally within a year there'll be another new mainline game with all the depth you're looking for.
I mean, look at Zelda fans. I mean, normally you have to wait 4 to 5 years for a new Zelda game, right? Or at least a 3D one. So
we don't like a Zelda game, we're just fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I think that's why I like Phantom Hourglass so much. Because I played it because that was the only one.
Yeah, I liked Phantom Hourglass too on the DS, but at the same time, it's like in terms of Zelda games, like I feel like it's pretty low on the list.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it on the DS.
I just don't like the touchscreen stuff.
Yeah.
That puzzle where you have to like close the DS for the map thing.
That took me forever to figure out. I felt like a dumbass.
Right. The first time I did that, I didn't even know why it worked. I didn't know why it worked. I thought it was because I turned it off. So the next time, I just started turning my DS off and on to try to get to work, and of course it didn't.
It was so vague that I was like, what? And then when I looked at it online, it was like, you have to close your DS. I was like, what? Right. It was like, whoa. Technology.
So, yeah.
I'm seeing Soham saying that there's no breeding, and they've confirmed that the stats are simplified according to Kaylee Plage's, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Kaylee's Plage's GameSpot article, and he's guessing that Ultra Sun and Moon will be used for this year's VGC.
That would make sense if the stats are simplified.
If the stats are simplified, then definitely I agree that Ultra Sun and Moon probably is what they're going to stick with for another year. which makes sense in a way for the competitive scene because that transition for Switch and getting players to get a Switch, which is a more expensive system than handhelds, giving them another year to adapt to that might work out. So I guess I can see that.
And I mean,
breeding, that sucks. Yeah, this is a spin-off.
I don't even know. I don't care about breeding.
You don't understand. Breeding is how you get powerful Pokemon. Breeding is how you train those beautiful little creatures to destroyers of life and reality. That's how you create like warriors.
For me, that's just too much, man. I'm just not about that. It just goes all over my head.
You have to like walk with your egg. Like,
I just don't have the time or will for that, so I don't really care. That's not your. I feel like this is more of a Pokemon game that's meant for people like me who aren't super hardcore Pokemon fans and just kind of want to play through the story and have a good time. Like, I don't really care. Like, I like leveling up my Pokemon. It's fun, but I'm not going to go over here and just grind all day to get all my Pokemon to level, what's the max level, 100 or something, whatever it is. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go breed Pokemon. I don't want to sit here all day trying to grind and catch, Pokemon that just hope, run around in tall grass for a bit and hope that I get the Pokemon I want and then hope I don't murder it. Like, I don't have time or willpower for that. So this game's kind of like, and since it's mostly just the 151 Pokemon, there should be less Pokemon types. So I don't have to worry about freaking dragon, fairy, whatever bullshit they have in the new ones.
And before them introducing a new type called Beast type.
Oh, gosh.
Deal with that. Actually, interesting question, though. Since we are going back to Kanto, I mean, I feel like this is a safe assumption, but let me just ask. Do you think the fairy type is going to be there? Like, Clefairy is a Kanto Pokemon, but in the old games it was normal type, and it's now a fairy type. Do you think it'll just be fairy in these games?
I mean, fairy types are a must.
I could see it being a normal type, honestly. Just because I feel like they want to simplify the typing more, so there's not, because it seems like very much get people who haven't played as much Pokemon, get people who don't really understand the in-depth ridiculousness of Pokemon, get them to play the game. So I don't think they want whatever you said there was like the other day. You said there was like 16 Pokemon types. It's too many types for me to cover. 18 Pokemon types.
Gotta double check that.
Too many. I just can't. I can't, man.
But fairy type, the girly type.
It's a pretty cool type.
Right.
It really is.
And that would definitely be back for Gen 8 though next year.
I feel like there's still gonna be fairy type. I think all the types are gonna be there.
There could be. I don't know if all the types would be there because since they're only 151, unless they put types on older Pokemon.
But like in Pokemon Sun and Moon, like, they told you what was not very effective, what was super effective, what was neutral. I feel like what more do you need?
That's casual.
More, because like I'd use a super effective move and it do like nothing, and I use an effective move and it just insta kills the thing, and I'm just like, what you just told what? Confused.
There is even more nuance to the stats.
There's like resistances and all this, and I don't understand. I just look at. I just go, hey, maybe this will work. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Use the next move. Like, I think this is just kind of more of a Pokemon game for people like me. And I understand a lot of the hardcore audience may not like that, but, not every Pokemon game has to be for the hardcore audience. And it kind of goes with what I was hoping, is that maybe this is how they're going to do it. Maybe they'll have, like, more of a spin-off-y or more of a different take on Pokemon 1 year and have more of the hardcore Pokemon the next year. That's kind of how I thought they should do it, and maybe that is what they're doing.
What's interesting about that is that they could use the Let's Go branding to distinguish that from now on. If what you're saying is right, I could see them being like, okay, so this year we get Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. Next year we get Pokemon Generation 8, right? Wherever that is. And then the year after that we get Pokemon Let's Go Jigglypuff and Oddish or something, right? Like that I'm not saying that's for sure what they're doing, but I could kind of see it. Especially with the Let's Go branding, that kind of makes sense. So it wouldn't shock me, but I don't know.
a frontier style.
Say it again.
They should do like a frontier style Pokemon.
Oh,
Like,
ooh, okay.
let's go frontier. And that doesn't sound right.
Let's go Frontier. Let's go Astronomus and let's go Cowboy Bibber. I don't know, like one based off an astronaut, one based off a cowboy. Just random, because there are different frontiers. Yeah, so this is like, I feel like because this game is casual, right? I feel like this means that there are other games coming out this year that are going to be a bigger deal.
Oh, well, yeah. There's still E3 the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, Smash is going to be a big deal, but I feel like, well, we haven't seen Fire Emblem yet, but I feel like there's got to be at least one more game that's going to be more of a hardcore-oriented game. And you guys who follow me, you know that I've always been talking about Metroid Prime 4. Maybe you know, this 2018 idea isn't so crazy after all. I'm only saying that because I'm just saying, man. Like, if this game is a casual kind of game, it seems like if the only hardcore game we get is Smash Brothers, I mean,
that's a lot. I mean, they're being generous. They're giving us games left and right. They're smacking us with games.
There's also Star Fox Grand Prix.
Crossing, the most hardcore of games. I don't know, man. There's hardcore Animal Crossing players. It looks all non-hardcore like Pokemon. You get into it. The people are crazy, man.
Yeah.
They do stuff and you're just
I'll
like,
be happy if the next Animal Crossing is more about like Animal Crossing : homicide or something, where you live in the city but there's like a detective aspect to it, and some of the animals are actually killing the other animals, and if you're like hiding out at night you'll see blood and stuff. Like that'll be my Animal Crossing game.
Horror game.
Yeah. Tell you guys right now, that's gonna be my next prediction, my next like E3 predictions video. Animal Crossing homicide.
You haven't even played New Leaf. It's a shame. It's just a darn shame.
Alright, fine. Animal Crossing New Homicide.
New homicide.
In the leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, I need the story. For sure, Animal Crossing.
I mean, it would be pretty dope. But do you guys see my point, though, right? Like, if this is casual, which it really does seem like, right? Like, because Nintendo is trying to come out with a Nintendo published game for every month. So let's assume that Smash is September, which at this point I think it's either September or October. It's one or the other, because September is the time that the online service comes out, and October, you know, they've sometimes released major games then, like they released Mario Odyssey last year in October, and then Pokemon came out in November, right, on the 3DS. But we already know Pokemon's coming out in November this year, right? So it's either October or September. But my point being that, you know, I just feel like Smash they need more than one other. They need another game to appeal to more of a hardcore market. Do you guys agree with me at all, or you guys are just nah? It's good enough for you guys. Like, there's got to be a game every month. So
I agree with you. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion, because I have so much games in the backlog. But yeah, I agree with you.
I kind of disagree, because I feel like a big majority. I understand there are hardcore Pokemon fans, and that's a big thing. But I feel like another big majority. I mean, like, look at Pokemon Go. Look how many downloads. 800 million, or was it billion downloads? I don't remember. 800. It's probably million. There's no way it was 800 billion. 800 million downloads, and that is the most casual you can get. That's more than every Pokemon sales combined. Easy. And, you know, that was just casual. I feel like there's just this huge casual market that are just going to buy this up and eat this up. So as far as Nintendo sales go, I don't think they need anything more than this. As far as, you know, balance, if they wanted to have a good balance between hardcore and, you know, more casual, I think they probably... I mean, we don't know what games are going to be here.
Well, what we do know? We know Fire Emblem, Yoshi, Smash Bros., and Pokemon are all coming out 2018, and I think that takes up 4 of the last 5 months of the year. So I honestly think there's going to be 1 to 2 more games coming out that we don't know about this year, right? One of them being maybe like Mario Party.
Right. I think one of them is Star Fox, and I think the other one is Animal Crossing. And we may get some other smaller deal games as well thrown in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, Fire Emblem is definitely a hard one. I mean, unless they casualize it, that's definitely a pretty hardcore series.
No.
I don't think they will.
They're
I think
gonna
they'll probably have
it because it even has a mode, casual and classic.
right. I think that's just what they'll do. I think it's casual enough. I think there's options in the game that make it accessible enough that they don't really feel like they need to make it any more casual than it already is. So
Yeah. There's like an easy mode where you can just walk through the game.
right.
Yeah, so
I'm right now seeing if Sean wants to join us for the last 5 minutes. Give us his thoughts. He might be busy, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm I just I like the a Star Fox. I'm happy with Star Fox coming.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. Like I like those rumors. I think that would be a pretty good fit. And Fire Emblem, I haven't mentioned it much, but that it could be a big deal, right? Like
Right.
It could be a big deal. We haven't seen about anything or heard anything about it. Like maybe this is.
They're keeping it close, man.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped for it. I'm playing through Awakening right now, and it's really good. Like I can see where a better hardware could really improve it. Way better cutscenes, better graphics and stuff like that.
cutscenes are beautiful.
No, not an Awakening.
They're not enough.
The cutscenes in Awakening are just garbage in my opinion. They're terrible. I mean the actual like pre-recorded ones are fine. They look good because obviously they're pre-recorded. But like actual in-game cutscenes where they use like the character models, they look so bad.
Those look bad.
They're terrible. But I could see like them ways that they could make that way better, the story elements way better, full voice acting, which I think they have the new one, but actually good cutscenes and stuff. I think they could make it a lot better than it is. But I like it already how it is, so I'm pretty hyped for that one.
Yeah. I think I'm still thinking about the whole year thing. This might be the Fire Emblem that I really get into because I didn't play the 3DS ones. I know they were good. My Fire Emblem games that I played were back on the Game Boy Advance, and I love those. So I just haven't gotten a chance to play the 3DS ones. But
Right.
I think they could do something special with this game. They could. Will they? Well, as long as it's not like Chibi Fire Emblem, like introducing Fire Emblem Chibi of Destiny or something.
Yeah, I don't think it is. The only thing we know about the game is that the producers said it's going to have like absolutely stunning graphics. That's literally the only thing we know about the game.
They've also said that about Star Fox. Well, that's a rumor, but
Yeah.
Star Fox and So let's I know most people don't believe Metroid's coming out this year. Let's 100% assume it's not coming out this year. Although I definitely hope it's at E3. I like the idea of Yoshi. I kind of like this lineup. So let's say in August we get Yoshi, right? And then September we get Smash Brothers, right? And then October we get Star Fox. We get Star Fox in October. And then early November we get Mario Party, a new Mario Party game. And actually November 16th is the date for Pokemon. So let me rearrange that. Mario Party comes out. It comes out in the same month as Star Fox in October, just like 2-week divide, and then early December. What?
The dollars.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and
so
then
true.
Early December, this in the same slot as where Xenoblade was in last Christmas, we get Fire Emblem, which I think kind of is a similar audience. Not the same, but it's similar, right? I think that would be a pretty stellar lineup in my opinion.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That doesn't count third party either. So,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with. I'd be pretty content with that. I think that's a pretty good lineup. And 4 of those games are already confirmed for this year, guys. So this is after Octopath Traveler and Mario Tennis Aces this summer, right? So those 4 games are still confirmed for this year. and we haven't gone to E3 yet. So I think that we have a promising year ahead of us, and next year is actually looking pretty good too, right? Because now we know there's a Pokemon game coming, right? Bayonetta 3 and Metroid are in development. That Pikmin 4 game is still there somewhere. I'm sure if Animal Crossing doesn't come out this year, next year also seems a high likelihood, right? So we already got, assuming that what we just said is the lineup, we got Animal Crossing, Pikmin 4, Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, and Pokemon. That's already looking pretty solid.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oof.
Also, we're not counting any. We're talking about first party right now. Who knows what kind of third party to be shown.
No, Sean's in the chat, and he literally had the same idea I had 30 minutes ago. He's saying Metroid is 2018 because the Pokemon game this year is an actual game.
What?
It is an actual game out there.
You know what he means.
What he means, but
Yeah.
it's just dumb.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
By that, but
I'd be all down if they could get it out this year. I just don't think they can.
You know, that's the debate, right? It kind of depends when they start working on it, and if they even feel like they need it, because Pokemon and Smash are going to take up a lot of sales, as to what you were saying earlier, Brandon. Like, they may not even care that much about their having a perfect balance of core to casual. Like, as long as they're making money,
Right.
there's that to consider. So,
Yeah, Smash and Pokemon are going to take over the universe. I don't care how simple. This looks like it's the perfect balance for most people. I know the more hardcore people are freaking out, but from what I've seen on Twitter and literally like everywhere else, people are like ridiculously hyped about this game. It seems like the perfect balance between casual and hardcore, to where hardcore people are like, "Oh yeah, I'll try it," and casual people are like, "Oh, finally."
do you want me to give you guys my dream, like, second half of 2018 lineup? Like, this is not happening, but it's just my dream lineup, just for fun.
Sure.
Okay, so, all right, in August we get Yoshi and Mario Party, but this is the best Mario Party ever. Okay, and then Yoshi.
No more cars.
Yoshi actually is hard because most Yoshi games are easy. It's challenging. Okay,
Hollywood was hard if you went for the collectibles.
this one's
yeah,
this
some
one's
of
even
those
this
levels
one.
are like crazy.
Well, this time they're crazy, and they're extra crazy after that. Okay, so then September, Smash Bros. Still comes out. So September is my ideal month either way. Okay, October, Metroid Prime 4. It's gonna have a single player mode that's 50 to 100 hours. It's gonna look like it's gonna be the best looking game ever made, and it's gonna have an extensive online multiplayer mode with a space pirate / Metroid quarantining like horde mode, and a co-op like hunter boss mode where you're hunters together and you have to hunt out giant like monsters from Metroid Prime in the giant Metroid Prime world they develop, and it's all like, yeah, it's amazing. Okay, that's the October game. November game, they canceled Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and then they launched like Let's Go Awesome Adult Red and Blue, where it's the same game but it's like super gritty graphics. It's all open world. There's this huge like dangerous narrative, and like Blue dies and Red has to avenge him, and it's epic and it's amazing. And then for December we get Animal Crossing Homicide and New Leaves. Yeah, that's my dream lineup.
You got some high expectations.
Yeah, well, I know that's not happening, so, you know. I understand reality. We're good. Animal Crossing Homicide is not happening. But, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
No, what's going to happen is Nintendo's going to hire me as a designer one day, and they'll be like, what's your big idea? Animal Crossing Homicide. Rated M. It's gonna sell a lot. It's gonna rated M. Yeah. The what?
I see it because those animals are creepy sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there are cartoons that have like little cute animals, and they go rabid. Like, it kind of, you know, that's a thing.
What about Bethesda? Does anyone have any predictions on what their thing is? So please stand by.
I don't want to get into my real E3 predictions too much because we're gonna save that for next week, guys. We're gonna have our full-on E3 predictions next week. I'm gonna try to get like as many. We're gonna. Amanda, do you want to be at the be here next week for the E3 predictions? Actually.
Sure.
Okay, so that's one more guess for next week. Sean's gonna be there probably. A few other people
Petra's
maybe.
gonna be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have a big lineup next week of people to talk about E3 predictions. But to answer your point though, I do think we're gonna get at least one Bethesda game this holiday.
But you didn't see the tweet that they tweeted out?
I saw it, but I wasn't paying attention because Pokemon.
They're doing this whole live thing. They're not live. I don't know. It's
They
confusing.
have like, they have people watching like nothing.
Yeah, people are literally going and watching that.
I have to keep people entertained every second, and they just get by with just
people watching that. Yeah. A lot of people are saying a Switch port of Fallout 4 or Fallout 3.
I've heard Fallout 3 is something that people kind of prefer. Well, apparently there's a large audience of people that prefer Fallout 3. I also feel like people probably just suggest that because they feel like the Switch is a potato. So it's like, oh, there's no way Fallout 4 could run, so let's just get Fallout 1, from the PC or something from the 90s. That'll run barely with some limitations. Maybe they have the resolution, and they make it pixely, right?
You can get that 240p up in there.
And then you have to actually stream it through cloud and not actually run it on the Switch because it won't work. Yeah. Because the Switch is actually a potato.
People actually think things like that, dude. You see people comments about what will and won't run on the Switch, and you're like, are you stupid?
It's kind of a mixed bag, really.
Right.
Like,
I feel like there are games that would have come out on 360 and PS3 that people would see if a trailer came out for that today, right, and it didn't have a Switch logo on it, people would say, oh, it wouldn't run on Switch. Like, I think a lot of people just kind of say that, and they don't actually have too much of a strong understanding of like how the technology works and what it's capable of. But Switch is weaker than PS4, Xbox One. There is a noticeable difference. Don't get me wrong here, but it's not as weak as some people make it out to be.
I've seen some beautiful stuff, and then some stuff is just like, ew. Like Hello Kitty races, like, ew.
What? That exists?
The most high budget game.
Like Mario Odyssey is beautiful, but then some games are just like, what did they do with you?
Yeah. So then, final thoughts, guys, before we call it a night.
I think I'm more hyped than a lot of people are. Depending on what they take from this to put in the next mainline game, I might enjoy this more than the mainline game, assuming that they're not bringing assuming they're not getting rid of random encounters in the mainline game and Pokemon following you and different things like that. I may end up enjoying this, or at least maybe as much, if not more, than the mainline game. But of course we haven't seen that one, so I can't say yet, but I do think I'll enjoy this one, maybe more than Moon, which I'm currently playing. So it looks good. The graphics look definitely good. It just from how much people have been saying it looks like Pokemon Sun and Moon, I'm definitely making a video comparing the two so people can see, yeah, this does not look like Pokemon Moon. So I feel like that's definitely a thing people are. They kind of have the like nostalgia glasses on, or the I haven't seen this game in a million years kind of glasses on. So they need to go back and actually look at the game, because no.
I'm gonna rewatch the trailer like 17 times tonight.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to just watch it over and over and over again. Even though it's just a casual Pokemon, not a main. It's gonna be fun, man. I love Pokemon games. Yeah. Like, I don't need to just play hardcore Pokemon, which even though I'm like the hardcore, they need a Pokemon Homicide. Now that is gonna be great. Pokemon Homicide. Oh, Detective Pikachu, but it doesn't have blood.
I mean, there wasn't really any murders.
No. I heard it wasn't very good. Actually, I heard it from you.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was easy. It was like Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, I need a sequel where Pikachu has like a mustache and there's blood.
Yeah, I thought it's just ketchup. Like the blood and like it's ketchup. I thought it was blood too. I got excited.
Oh, but they use ketchup. That's cute. Actually, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, he got ketchup in his thing. I was like, really? Can give me a little bit of excitement. Well, that's just horrible, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, I do. So some of these guys are asking that they stream longer, but it's midnight. It's midnight.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Sohan Paul has subbed to us. He's waiting for an analysis video. Thank you, man. Welcome. You know, Brandon, Amanda apparently subbed to us, so, you know.
Oh, thank you.
Keep the heads out. And yeah, I'm going to work on a Pokemon analysis video for sure. That's coming.
I'm going to be doing that Pokemon graphics analysis video because you just set people straight.
I'm going to get that magnification glass, and I'm going to...
Yeah, man. Or the 2 eyeballs. Because it's that obvious.
Oh, apparently Sabbath graduates on Thursday. Congratulations, bro. That's a big step, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, so, yeah, guys, it is midnight. So, with that, I bid you all a farewell. Make sure to check out Amanda's channel, Mandy Lee Plays. The link is in the description below. Make sure to check out Brandon's channel, What About Nintendo. The link is also in the description below. And next week, we are going to have the most hype, epic predictions discussion you have ever seen beyond reality.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm hyping it up, but like, come on.
No, it's gonna be the best.
It's gonna be awesome.
What did I get into?
It's gonna be epic. I'm gonna predict everything homicide. Just kidding.
Everything's gonna be
Just
homicide.
kidding. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks for coming out randomly on this Tuesday night to talk Pokemon, and like and subscribe. Yeah, because you know that's important. Anyways, have a good night, everyone. See ya.
Bye, guys.